was growing bigger and bigger, because promotion does not come from the east. It does not come from the north, the south, nor the west. It cometh from the Lord. The strategy you need to excel in your job is a wisdom that comes from God. The favor you need is a wisdom that comes from God. In addition to all you do, there must be a realm of intimacy. That was what Abraham knew. And the day God was passing, Abraham was at the gate. He said he was in Mamre. He was praying. And it was not just about time. Because of this life that Abraham lived, in Matthew chapter 8 verse 11, God now made us understand that when men leave earth, they have thrones in heaven. He said men will come from the east and the west, and they will sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. So there is a way to live your life to be relevant both in time and eternity. There are many people today who are living relevantly on earth, but they have no stake with God. He says such men, their designation in the spirit is fools. But men like Abraham, that in addition to the principles, prosperity, management, leadership, in addition to all of that, have a relationship with God. He said in the kingdom to come, these are mighty. Jesus was speaking in Revelation 2:26. He said he will give unto them nations, because it doesn't end in time. Nations will be given to men. This is where true Christianity begins. It's not just to be on earth. I tell you the truth, the mercy of God that is put on earth as a residual grace is enough to make you prosper. That's why Bill Gates doesn't need to pray to God to prosper. That's why Dangote doesn't need Jesus to prosper. If all we seek God for is what we can get, then we are joking. There are men who have never been sick until they grew old. Go to the Middle East. You see Chinese men who are 100 years old. Because of exercise and good diet, they have never fallen sick. At 100, they are still walking without walking stick. You don't need God for many things, because his grace has ensured it. But there are things that you must need God for. And one of it is the labor of turning men to righteousness. These are the things we never do. The ones that without the direct input of God we will still have are the ones we labor for night and day. How come we've not heard the stories of eternity? How come we've not heard of the judgment of the ages to come? When Paul was speaking to Felix, he said he reasoned with him about matters of conscience and the judgments to come. Because time, a day will come, it will be rolled away like a canopy. In that day, where will you stand? What will you travel into eternity with? When God summons men to turn many to righteousness, he's showing us the path to eternal relevance. Because everything we do on earth may end, but there are things we do on the earth that will travel with us into the world to come. One of it is to turn many to righteousness. No wonder in Daniel chapter 12 verse 3, he said, they that be wise, he said, they will shine like the brightness of the heavens. He said, and they that turn many to righteousness, not they that traded well and succeeded. Is there anything wrong with it? No. He said, my kingdom through prosperity shall yet be spread abroad. We need to learn all the principles and apply it. But in addition to it, he said, they that turn many to righteousness, they shall shine like stars forever. If you crossed over to eternity today, what will you look like? I know on earth you are dazzling. On earth you are shining with diamonds. But when you cross over to eternity, are you sure there will be any star or any glare around you? God gives us the leakage this morning. He said, they that turn many to righteousness. It didn't end only with Abraham. Even in the New Testament, in Acts chapter 15 verse 26, the Bible was speaking about Paul. It said Paul and Barnabas, they were so dogged that they didn't just preach casually. He said they hazarded their lives for the gospel. They hazarded. They knew this thing to a point that even when their life was at risk, they gave themselves for it. What others hazarded their lives for, we need to be encouraged and begged. Oh, where will we stand in eternity? He said, when the road is caught up yonder, when the road is caught up yonder, when the road is caught up yonder, when the roll is caught up yonder, I'll be there. It's not about the man on the altar. Jesus didn't send the apostle and prophet to preach. He sent all believers. He said to all of them, go into all the worlds and disciple all nations. Because the plan I have in heaven is not just for apostles and prophets, it's for every believer. How come? How come that there are no souls attached to us? It's because we have not known how eternity works. He said Paul and Barnabas, they didn't just believe it. He said they did it to a point where even though their life was at risk, they went forward. And when Paul came to the end of his life, he said, I have fought a good fight. I have kept the faith. He said, there remaineth for me a crown of life. How dare you determine your reward? Why other Christians are hoping, will I be saved? They are arguing in theological seminaries. Once saved, always saved. There is a man who has gone past theological argument. He is not just talking about salvation. He can tell you that he has a crown in eternity. How come you live your life as if earth is the end?